Hi, Kim here. I am here today to talk to you about my insight cards. If you've picked up one of these decks already, or if you're interested in learning more about what they can do for you, I just wanted to give a quick tutorial about how they actually work, because insight cards are a little different than traditional card decks that we're used to working with, like oracles and tarot cards, in that they actually really call you to go within and to develop your intuition in really powerful ways. So I personally designed this deck. This is the Illuminate Deck, our second edition. Specifically designed it to help to really access your own intuitive sensibilities and start creating a language with your intuition and your higher self and all that inner dialogue that really leads to higher awareness. So these are a great intuitive development tool, particularly when you're just starting out and really going deeper into the intuitive process and learning your intuitive language, because intuition speaks to all of us differently. We each have our own unique way. So these cards can really be a tool to help you understand how your specific intuition speaks to you. Typically in the past, I know, when I started working with stuff, I worked with tarot cards, and I would go look up, what that tarot card means, or any different kind of oracle, the runes or I Ching, or all that stuff you can use, and you can sort of, use a resource to look up the answers and get the guidance you need. And that's a great first step. But ultimately, we want to stop being reliant on those tools. We want to be reliant on ourselves. What happens when we don't have those tools to help us make those decisions, right? We want to start making those decisions, with our own sensibilities. So these cards are sort of a bridge to help us in between till we get to that place where we can just use our intuition on demand and really have access to all that information 24/7. So as we start to use the insight cards, we begin to sort of cultivate this new language with ourselves. So instead of looking at a card and then looking at a book or looking at on the internet for some sort of understanding of what that card means, we go within. Right. And this is all part of that greater shift that we're going through right now, of shifting our attention from the outside world to the inside world. And that doesn't just mean the woo-woo stuff of going within. That means really learning from within. That means listening to that quantum insight within us that has access to all of that data and the world within us that is actually beyond us. Right? Instead of looking to the man-made knowledge systems, we want to look to ourselves, and we want to look to the inner guidance and that higher sacred part of ourselves to guide us. So we can do that with this card deck. So just a quick tutorial on how to do it. Whenever you work with intuition cards, you always want to make sure you're in a happy, good, high vibe place, right? So make sure you're feeling good. Make sure you take a little time, maybe meditate before, do some journaling, or use some essential oil. I make some pretty cool, fun essential oil blends that help to enhance your intuition, because you want to make sure you're in a good, energetic place, because the higher vibration you are, the easier it's going to be for your intuition to start speaking to you. Right. So if you're feeling down, or if you're feeling stressed out, you might want to take a break or take a little rest before you do it, because heavier, lower energy states make it more difficult to connect with those high vibration attunement of your inner wisdom. So get into a good place, feel comfortable, and then, really just think about, what it is that you're looking for guidance. And you can just shuffle your cards like you would if you were using a tarot deck or an oracle deck, and set your attention on the guidance you want. Does life have a message for me today? Or do I need help with something specific, some kind of block that my intuition isn't speaking to me naturally, and I just can't get through it? Because really these cards just serve to validate what our intuition is already saying to us that we might not want to buy into, or that we might be, confused or have fears or different things that might prevent us from accepting that reality. So these tools can be great validation and affirmation processes for us. So just, take a moment and just shuffle the cards and set your intention. And, let's just say, for this example, we'll say I'm someone who's looking to get help with my health. Like, I have health issues, I have chronic health issues, and I just can't seem to figure out what's going on. Right. So I'm going to ask life, the universe, God, whatever word it is that you use for that, just for a little insight to help me understand what I need to do, or what I can do to bring higher awareness into why this is happening, or what I can do to heal and move on and get better. So I just set my intention as I shuffle, and just think, open the universe, open my mind, open my heart. Take a deep breath. I like to just quiet myself and center myself for a moment. and then you'll select a card. But before you look at the card, you have to realize the way this works is it works on this principle of intuition, which is your first impression. So I'm going to look at the first thing I see on the card, and that's going to be my point of departure. That's going to be the metaphor for the message that this card is going to speak to me, right? So I'm going to turn over the card, and the card that I get, doesn't matter if it's upside down, right side up, you can read it either way. It just matters what your first impression is. This is the card that I got. And the first thing that I see on this card, it goes to the point right between the eyes right there. So that's the first thing. So I think, okay, so this is going to help me to understand, my question and what I'm looking for. So this, of course, to me, I ask, what is it? What does that represent to me? And it represents obviously intuition and the work that I do and intuitive development. And so from that point of departure, I look at the card and I just allow myself to take it in. Just take a moment and take it in. And I look at all the different things on the card, and my mind goes from there, it goes down to the light. And it goes even then to the figure itself, which is a really peaceful figure. And the thoughts come to my head. Just the thought came to my head to slow down, to be still. So you have to listen to every little thing that drops into your head, right? So we're working with different ideas of resonance. We're working with ideas of first impressions. So any thoughts that pop into your mind, any feelings that come to you as you look at the card, allow the card to speak to you and sort of unwind a message, right? And at first, the first couple times you do it, it might take some practice, but then once you get the hang of it, it's amazing at how these cards can almost instantaneously speak to you, right? So in my case, let's say I'm the person looking for guidance with my well-being. And this immediately, I go here, I think, okay, so I need to tune in. I need to go within. I need to pull back from the world a little bit is what this card's telling me, get back in that intuitive state. And then right here, this keeps standing out to me right here, this hand. And your intuition can work with any of these things in any way. So it doesn't have to mean anything. Right? So everything in this card is completely subjective. It means whatever it means to you. And right now, what that's meaning to me is a slow down. How that feels is a slow down, take a pause, stop, right? So pull back from that world, take some time out. Maybe I'm too busy. Maybe I've been running around. Maybe my health is suffering because I've been putting all this stress on myself because I've been doing so many things when what I really need to be doing is sitting, being still, reconnecting with that inner Buddha, that inner place of peace and power, and stop pushing myself, stop going out into the world, right? And then this little light that's deep shining here is that reminder, that of that light within me, that I can feed and fuel through the stillness, through that peace. So, and I can spend time, I could take a lot of time, I could journal on this card. I could go deeper into it. I could pull a second card to help me say, okay, so what are my next steps? Great. I know, okay, that's a great message. I need to slow down. I need to take a break. I need to go within, right? So what are my next steps? So then I could take a moment, I'd go through the whole thing again. I could pull a second card, right? And, maybe this will help to show me, maybe this means something to me in terms of my career, in terms of my health. And then I can use this card to inform the first one. And through this process, as you do it over and over again, in your intuitive practice, in your meditation practice, journaling, whenever you have time to do it, when you go through that, the best thing that you can do is really learn through writing down a journal is a great idea. Like getting a journal and writing down, things as they come to you is so important, because then you can kind of create this dialogue and this reference of all the different symbols and ideas and resonance and what they mean to you. So that's how you start cultivating that inner language and that inner truth. So I think it's a really valuable thing to incorporate this with a journal, get just like a little journal and start writing this down. And working with these cards every day can really, really help you to really start that process of going within, reconnecting inside. And that's what we all really need to do right now, get back from the world and reconnect to that truth within us. So I hope that this has been helpful. You can get my cards if you haven't already on my website. Um, and this is the Illuminate deck. It's a beautiful 54 card deck, and has some wonderful artwork on there too. That's great for meditation and contemplation. And really, I really encourage people, if you've read my book, Radical Intuition, A Revolutionary Guide to Using Your Intuition and your inner power and all that stuff. This is a great supplementary tool to actually work with it and start practicing it so you can activate it in your own life, because that's what really matters. We can know what we know about intuition, but ultimately in the end, we want to be able to use it in our lives. And this tool, these cards, are a great stepping stone to help you live your life every day by the power of insight, so that 24/7 things can just drop into you and connect with you, so that you're living a better, freer, happier, more fulfilled life. So I hope that helps, and I hope to see you around. Stop by my website, kimchestney.com, or we have classes and workshops at intuition-lab.com going on all year round. Thanks, and have a great day. Mwah.